How we doing, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Getting Jiggy With It. I'm Will, and today we're opening another new Digimon card game starter deck. So if you watched our last video, or if you didn't after this video, you can go watch it. We did open up the Black Machine? Yeah, Black Machine. Or no, Machine Black. I'm reading backwards. I gotta look back behind me because the deck's over there because I just opened it. But I digress. We did open up that deck, which of course features Tai and Greymon. But this time we are going to be opening up the purple deck. Now this is deck number 6. The first 3 decks should be able to be a little bit easier to find. You shouldn't be having to pay an arm and a leg. I did see them at Walmart. I didn't pick them up because I don't want to go back in time. Instead, I want to go forward. There is a third deck that we didn't pick up. It is, I think, green, and it features I can't remember his name, but the bug one. We didn't pick that up because Audrey doesn't like bugs, and we like purple, and I like black, and that's why we went with the decks we went with. But with that, guys, let's go ahead and get into this deck. If you're familiar with Pokemon, some of the mechanics are same, some of them are different. I'll go through some of those mechanics like I did in the black deck opening, but this isn't a how to play, right? We haven't played yet, so I'm not a professional in this, but here we go. So you are going to get 54 cards in this deck. It does come with a memory gauge, which is what is used for power or mana if you're used to magic. And it does come with 2 index cards, which I think are just the rest of the rules. When I went through the rest of the cards, I couldn't figure out what they meant by that. They really should just say rule cards. And then here are your types of cards you can get: Digimons, Digi-Eggs, Tamers, and option cards. So we are very excited to play this. Of course, I don't want to say I'm a bigger fan of Digimon. I was a bigger fan of Digimon growing up. I am more familiar with it. I'm more familiar with Pokemon now, just because of all the Pokemon content we used to do. So I might need to go back and check out Digimon and start watching the anime again. And I would definitely think that, whenever we do something like this, Audrey usually gets into it as well. So we usually go back and watch that kind of stuff. So the first part is the stuff in the back. So you do get a player marker. Now this is nice. I didn't know this was going to happen, but it makes sense. So we get a purple player marker because it's the purple starter deck. The other deck came with a black one. And the way this works, in case, again, you haven't seen that previous video, is everybody, you share the power, right? So you share your power between the 2 players. And in order to play a card, you're going to go up and down this track to basically play it. So say if something calls 3, I would go 1, 2, 3. And then if I want to play something that calls 4, I'd go 1, 2, 3, 4. I can go all the way to 10. If I'm at 3, I could actually play something that calls 13, really, if I wanted to. But that means now my opponent starts at 10. They're going to have a lot more memory that they can play during their turn. I mean, that would be 20 memory you're giving them, in essence, to be able to play on their turn, or up to it. And then the other is the rest of the rules. Right. So the first thing we're going to do is check out the Digi-Egg cards, but we're going to do them in order, which is Digi-Egg cards, and then the evolutions, the evolutions, and then I think at the very back are your powers and abilities. Whatever. So Digi-Egg, so basically Digi-Egg is your starting Digimon. Now this isn't starting in the sense of the first thing you have to play. Unlike Pokemon, you don't have to play an egg to be able to play a card, because again, everything uses memory, and you can just play enough memory to play one of the higher Digimon if you want. But if you want to, you can breed your Digimon, and they do give you a benefit by starting out with this because you get these inherited effects. But Pagumon is a level 2, cute little guy eating his little piece of meat there. And then if you get him on deletion, trash the top 2 cards of your deck. So basically, when you delete him, or he gets deleted, then you get rid of the top 2 cards of your deck. Not sure why you want to do that, because if you run out of cards, I don't know if this is supposed to be you, the player, or the person that deleted him. I want to go with it's the person that deleted him does that, because that would be like a mill mechanic. So I'm going to have to research that, but if you guys know, let me know how that actually works, because it seems very bad. I would not want, if this is going to impact me as the player, I wouldn't want that, because then I'm going to lose 2 cards, and if I run out of cards, it's game over, similar to Pokemon. But you do get 4. So unlike Pokemon, you can have 4 of each type of card, or of each unique card. So if I had Pagumon here that has this ability, and then I had a Pokemon that had a different ability, I could actually have 4 of each of those in my deck. Now, I have to caveat that Digi-Eggs, you can only have 5 total Digi-Eggs, so that wouldn't work in this particular case. But here we go, for Demi Devilmon, that would work, right? Because you can have 4 of this particular one, and if there's one maybe that has an inherited ability, you could have 4 of that one as well. So play cost is 2, Digi-Evolution is 1 if it is a level 2, which is what your starting Pokemon is, or not Pokemon, your starting Digimon. I'm going to imagine this isn't the first or last time I'm going to do that. Now they do go by the thousands, however, the last deck didn't have anything like that was 500, so really you can just think of this as a power 4. In my opinion, for kids games, stop putting the extra numbers. They don't need it. Kids want to learn very easy. Having a 4 here does not make this any better or worse than having a 4 later. Now, maybe they'll start having 4 500, 4 200, you know, because if you looked at like Yu-Gi-Oh, for example, they had that kind of mechanic. But he is level 3, no abilities. We should have 4 of this guy here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. There's Gobblemon. That's what I wanted to see. So he is a 2. Play count 3. He is free to evolve off of your egg. And then he has an inherited ability. So once you Digivolve, they gain these inherited abilities. And it basically is trigger, draw 1. So when you attack, you get to draw 1 card. And then you trash 1 card in your hand. So basically, if you have a card that's not doing you any good, hey, do that and get you an extra card. So you get 4 of him. And then you get Drachmon. So one thing, unlike Pokemon, and even really to the anime, is you have to stay in your evolution line, right? The Digivolutions don't follow that rule in the card game. Thematically, whether that bothers you or not, that's up to you. But you can evolve any level 4 on this level 3. You can evolve any, you know, it doesn't have to be within the same line that you're familiar with, which I guess does open up a lot of things. I know some people play Pokemon like that. They have these custom, I forget what they call them. It's like a box, right? And it's just got a bunch of electric Pokemon, and basically anything can evolve off of anything. This kind of did that too, right? So he's 302, and then on play, you may return 1 purple option card with a memory cost of 1 or 7 from your trash hand. Okay, so it lets you basically recycle your option cards, your action cards. All right, so you got 4 of him. You have the Elecmon, level 3, 0 again off your egg, play cost 4 if you don't evolve him, and then he is 5. So his main thing is his Digi points are a lot higher for that low of a level. So 4 of those. And then our first level 4 is Garurumon. So he evolves for a cost of 2 off of a level 3. And again, any of those level 3s, it doesn't have to specifically be his line. He only has 4,000 now. So he really doesn't have much going for him. So you kind of want to evolve him off of something with a inherited effect. In his case, he would give an inherited effect of trigger, draw 1. So very similar to, what is it, Gabumon, who had that same ability. So you'd kind of want to, you know, Digivolve like this, so that way you get both of those. So in this case, when you attack, right, here, you'd get his ability. If you evolve him again, you're going to get 2. So you actually get to draw 2 cards. So that's going to kind of accelerate as the game goes on, and you can get more inherited abilities, right? So you should get 3. Nope, you get 4 of him. I don't know if it was going to be 3 or 4. In that case, it was a 4. You have Yokomon. So some of them do match their previous evolution, so that's nice. So you can see this does match. I'm not familiar with it. Who was it? Elecmon. Or Elecmon, like electrician, electrode, electrocute? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I don't know what I'm doing. So 6,005 and 2. No actual inherited abilities. So yeah, you get 4 of that guy there. I guess it could be that girl. I kind of think of Ninetales as a female character, so I guess we say that's that girl there. So Digimon. Now we did pull a Digimon in our black pack, so of course we do have 1 pack here. They're not really going to help you improve your deck too much because the cards are very random. But maybe you could get 1 card that you could use. But here we go. He is 5. Play cost of 6 if you do it straight. It's only 1 to evolve from level 3. That is not bad. And so he is a blocker. So basically, blockers allow you to force your opponent to attack this Digimon if he's not exhausted, instead of blocking another one. So your opponent could have a 3 that they're going to attack you with. You can say, oh, nope, I'm going to block it. And then he would knock out your opponent and send them to the trash instead of you getting maybe your 300 knocked out, right? Because if you're the same, both get knocked out. No inherited ability. Oh, and I missed here. When he's attacking, you do lose 2 memories. So that is not fun. Would not be a good time to keep losing memory, though. So yeah, I kind of think he's definitely a blocker because you don't want to lose memory. So using him as attacker would be like a last resort because it's all you got. So the next one is Kyukimon. So it is a level 5. So this is our first level 5. 9,000 Digi points or Digi power. 6 if you play it, or 3 if you evolve it. No innate ability though. So we get 3 of those, 4 of those, 4 of those. You get a lot of those. Next is Skull Satamon. So he's kind of like the evolution off of that last guy. What was his name again? Devimon. I'm horrible with names to begin with. I mean, I recognize Devimon from the anime. I can't remember his name to save my life. So 763. He does have this Digi-evolving ability. You may return 1 purple Digimon card. Okay, so think of death and resurrection, right? So he brings them back from the trash. That's good. So you get 4 of him. And then here's our first rare card. So it is a level 5. You can see by the little gold there. So unlike Pokemon, they're not holographic. It just has this gold trim around him. And we have Weregarurumon. So he gets a 3 off of a 2, 7 raw, 7. This seems to be common. I've noticed that. Normally the play cost is equal to their Digi power. Nope, I said that and then I stand corrected because his was 6 and 7. So that's not always the case. And then he has nothing, but he does give you a inherited ability. On your turn, when there are 5 or more cards in your trash, he gets 2,000. So maybe that would make sense with this egg then if that actually impacted you, right? Because you would be putting cards in your trash, which would allow you to, do more damage. Okay. Now, unfortunately, I would only want to do that like 2 times, maybe. I would think by the time you do it twice, that's 4, and you should at least have 1 in there already. I would think, right? So you have 2 of him. Venomyotismon. So again, the next evolution off of that particular. So I mean, if you wanted to keep it thematic, you can. You've got 1 of each if you wanted to. So he is a rare, no actual inherited ability, but he is a level 6, which makes sense because I think 6 is the highest you can go. 11,000, right? When Digivolving, up to 2 of your Digimon gain Retaliation. So when this Digimon is deleted after losing a battle, delete the one that was battling until the end of your turn. Okay, so basically 2 of your Digimon get Retaliation. And then, so if those are attacked by your opponent's going to lose anyways. So they kind of like, your opponent's not going to want to attack whatever you put Retaliate on, unless they're willing to lose it. All right, and then here is our first secret rare. Same, like I said, they're not. I mentioned this in the last video. They're not as shiny, as holographic as Pokemon cards. They have more of a matte finish, I've noticed. But 12,000, 12 to play, 4 if you're already a level 5. So if you have him in your security, so I haven't mentioned security yet, because I don't think any of those cards had anything to mention security. They basically act off of these abilities. So instead of having a prize pool that you deplete, you have a security pool. Instead of you getting the prize card like Pokemon, the security pool you deplete, but the card actually activates when your opponent attacks it. So this one, the Digimon checks 1 additional security card. So basically, if he is attacked, then you get to do 2 cards instead of 1 when you attack. Main Digiburst 2. So trash 2 of the Digimon's Digi-Evolutions, and if you do, you get to play 1 purple level 3 card from your trash without paying the memory cost. So basically, you get rid of some of his evolution line, and then that allows you to get a freebie. So of course, if you played him raw, basically just paid the full 12 to get him into the main active, then you wouldn't be able to do this because you don't have a Digi-Evolution line. So you get 2 of him, right? And then we do have now our Tamers. So Tamers are ongoing effects. Think of a stadium in Pokemon. You play this out, so it only costs 2, very cheap. Get it out early in the game. And then on your turn, when one of your Digimon is deleted, you may suspend this Tamer to gain 1 memory. So it basically gives you additional memory in your turn. And in your opponent's turn, right, it would basically give them 1 less memory in a sense. Or I don't know, maybe your turn would, okay, so on your turn, all right, so on your turn you do it and you get 1. So it's after the attack and once it's going back to your phase. Okay, that makes sense. And this is what I was talking about, security. So if he is in the security, then you just get to play him, whoops, earthquake, you get to play him for free, and then you get 4 of him. And then the next are your option cards. So option cards are basically like effective cards, spell cards, whatever you want to call them. You play them to get the ability. Only costs 1, very cheap. And then main, you may delete 1 of your Digimon to delete 1 of your opponent's level 4 or lower. So for you, it can be anything. You can delete, you know, a level 3, and then that lets you get rid of a level 4. And then, of course, if it is in your security, same thing, delete 1 of your opponent's level 4 or lower. And in this case, you don't have to delete your own. So it's real good if these can show up in your security. You get 4 of those. And then your last one in this deck for the option, more expensive cost. There's only 2 of them because these are more powerful cards, right? Main, when you play 1 purple level 3 Digimon card and 1 purple level 4 Digimon card from your trash, or you may do that without paying the memory cost. Any on-play effects on the Digimon played with this effect don't activate. Okay, so it just gives you freebies. So again, that makes, okay, so yeah, I think I've discovered, all right, so that makes perfect sense. This is yours. So you delete 2 on your turn, which Pokemon has very similar, where you're actually milling through your own deck. And that makes perfect sense because this card plus the other one we saw early lets you pull those back out of your deletion. So that allows you to bring a level 3, level 4 Digimon from the trash back into play. So, okay, makes perfect sense now how these 2 work together. And then if it was in your security instead of, you know, in your hand, you may play 1 purple level 4. Okay, so you can play 1 purple level 4 from your trash, but don't activate. This one you can do 1 purple level 3 and 1 level 4. So you still get some benefit, it's just not as good. And of course you get 2 because, again, very powerful card. So that is the deck. So let's go ahead and get into the pack. So it's the same pack, it's a Great Legend. This is when these decks came out, I believe, is with the Great Legends, which is the set number 4. You get 12 cards, 115 total cards. Here's the breakdown. And then there are super rares and secret rares. So, okay, so earlier when I said the SR is actually only super rare. And then secret rare is usually SSR, I think is normally what they mark it as. And then there's 15 alternate art. So let me go back to our big boys here. So these are rares. All right, so that is SR. So I'm thinking these are secret, just regular super rares. That's just a regular, that's just an R, so that's just a rare. Yeah, they don't have the markings. I think there's a card in here that gives the markings. We'll figure that out. Let's go ahead and get this one opened up. See if any of these cards can actually help our deck. Although, again, when we play this, we're going to play it as is, but, you know, for reference, hey, there we go. There's something that can actually help our deck, right? It is a purple card. So it is 7, 7, and 3 off of a level 4. Opponent's turn, an opponent plays a tamer, you gain 3 memory. Okay, that's not bad. Now this is, I don't know, so this is weird. So does that mean they get, it basically deletes 3 memory from them? Right? Because you're gaining 3, which means they would lose 3. But if it's not at 0 already, you're not really gaining 3. I mean, I guess you are in a sense, right? Because you're taking, if you were to take 3 away from them and they were 2, that'd be 1, 2, 3. It put you at 1, which means you start with 1 additional. I don't know how that works between turns. Like, for example, you know, I have to read the rules, which are right there, to see, like, okay, when it's here, do you get +3 at the beginning of your turn? Like, is there an initial plus amount you get by default? Because if your opponent stops at 1, that kind of limits what you can do in your turn, which doesn't seem very fair, but it is very strategic. And then back to the card, so level 5, right? And then he gets the inherited ability. When an opponent's tamer becomes suspended, gain 1 memory. So basically you're, instead of having this, because I mean once you digivolve you're not going to have that anymore, now you gain this. And if I'm remembering right, I mean I watched a couple videos, I don't know if any of them really mentioned that, but they were all mentioning this ability until it was digivolved to get that ability. And you guys can correct me down below. 3003-1, so he's just a little low guy, level 3. Tabiomon. Ooh, Loliomon. So this would go with the one we pulled out of the black deck because we got Leomon. 5/2/2. He evolves off of a level 2, right? No inherited ability. And again, these are commons, right? These are kind of like your Pokemon commons. You really aren't using them. And if you get the one with the ability, that's the one you want to use. So 6, 5, and 2 if you're level 3 already. And then same thing, Diatramon has no inherited ability. 5,000, 2, and 2. Atopamon. And then he has no ability either. So no abilities for these cute guys. Gasumon, I remember him from the anime. 6, 4, and 1. Black, so he could go in our black deck if you wanted just a cheap card to be able to play as cannon fodder. Although I say he's cheap, he's got a lot of DP though, so that's actually pretty nice. Kudomon 2/3/0 doesn't cost anything to evolve. On play, trash the top card of your security stack to have one of your opponent's Digimon get minus 2,000 DP. Okay, so you might be able to knock out one of their lower end Digimon by sacrificing one of your security. Okay. All right, so here we go. Here is our first U, which is, or maybe U is ultra rare. What were our levels, guys? It was commons, uncommon. U is uncommon. Okay, so he is an uncommon. Does he have any? No shiny. No shiny. 11-11-3. He is black, which means that could go into our black deck, right? He is blocker, so of course you can make and force your opponent to block with him or attack him. An opponent's turn, when your opponent has 3 or more Digimon in play, this Digimon gets plus 3,000. Oh, okay, so that makes sense. If these two can tie up, your opponent has 3 or more, you're now at 14,000. Very nice, very nice. And then the next one, our next uncommon is Roachmon. So he's only level 4, cost only 1, 3, and 3. That doesn't seem very good. Like, I don't see any benefit of him. I don't know why he's an uncommon. Kind of weird. We do got a Digi-Egg here, which is green, so this can't help either deck, right? We can't switch out any of our Digi-Eggs. But cute little guy there, just taking a nap with his buddy. His buddy's taking a nap too. They get the little nap bubble going on. Budmon, while this Digimon has Digiburst, it gets plus 1,000. While this Digimon has Digiburst, it gets plus 1,000. Okay, so you would want to evolve him with a Digimon that has Digiburst, basically, is what that's saying. All right, so our first rare here, and now I figured out why this card's backwards. So the eggs have a different back than the regular cards. I was looking at these on the last deck, and I was like, why is this white one right in the middle? But it's because the eggs have a different color back, which makes sense, because if you're playing them, you'd want to have them separated, because they don't come out of your main deck. So play cost 11 if you do it raw, 12,000, and then if you want to upgrade from a level 5, it costs 4. So of course he is a level 6. Got the beautiful little gold down there. So he is a rare. So he does have Digiburst, so like that other one said. So since he has Digiburst, he'd be able to take advantage of that. Except for they're the wrong color. Trash 2 of this Pokemon to activate the effect. And it's basically delete one of your opponent's Pokemon with 8,000 or less. Wow, you can get rid of a big boy doing that. So that's Victory Greymon. Rare here as well. So 7,000, 8, and 3. I've never seen Gagomon like that, but it's Mach Galgomon. Digiburst 2, so same thing. Cost 2 to do it. Return one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon to their hand. Trash all the Digivolutions. That's nice. So basically, you get rid of their level 4, you get rid of their Digivolutions. Now they got to find a way to evolve back up to that. Inherited, so if you do go up to a level 6, while you have a Tamer in play, he gets plus 2,000. So if you can get, I don't know who's in the blue deck, but if you can get whoever's in the blue deck out, you're in business. And that is it. So we did not get a secret rare in this one. We did get a secret rare in the last one. So let's see, what do they call the rare SR, URR? There's 115 total, but this isn't, it's not 115. So this is the player 1 card. Okay, the other one said player 2 on the other card we have. So this must not be, this must be half of it. So rare, SR, RC, SR. Huh. I don't know how you know the difference between a regular secret rare and one of the super rares. So there's 12 super rares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it only shows 5 on this card. So I'd probably need that other card and the other one. Since we're talking about that, let's go ahead and get this out. Maybe we'll learn something together, guys. We will learn together, or we will not learn anything because it was not mentioned in here. So this is the other half of that card, like I mentioned. There you go. So player 1, player 2. So the player 1 card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, here we go. Okay, SEC. There we go. So it says SEC. So the secret rares will say SEC on them instead of SR. There we go. We learned something today. But there you go, guys. That is the second deck of the new set. There is a third deck that we did not buy, mainly because we're just going to play a 1v1 to show you guys how this game plays on the channel. If you'd like to see that gameplay, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, bell notification to know when we go live, or when we hit the video thing scheduled, whatchamacallit on YouTube. Yeah, that thing. Hit the reminder, and that way you'll know when we go live as well. But until next time, guys, peace.